Hi, plastic waste disposal is becoming a major threat for our water bodies. It is said that by 2050, we will have more plastics than fishes in our oceans. Talking to us on this topic is Dr. Venkatesh Dutta, who is a professor with Ambedkar University at Lucknow. He is a Gomti River waterkeeper and he's traveled about 960 kilometers along the Gomti River in 2011 and documented its tributaries. He is also working on the rejuvenation of wetlands, ponds, and rivers along the Ganga basin. He is passionate about rivers and the related landscape. Friends, this is Only Green, and Only Green is all about making our world a greener place. Let's now listen to Dr. Venkatesh Dutta.
The world produces 400 million tons of plastic annually, and nearly half of these plastics are single-use plastic. Every year, more than 8 million tons of plastic wastes end up in our ocean. That's a rate of almost 15 tons every minute. Plastics are made from oil with a highly polluting production process. We use plastics for a few seconds or minutes or hours, and then they last for 500 years. They don't even break down, but rather break up into smaller and smaller tiny particles. Plastic bags travel long distances through our water bodies. They float easily in the air and water. Granules less than 5 millimeters across, the length of a pencil tip. They are known as microplastics. 80% of marine litter is made of plastics, and almost 90% of plastics that enter our oceans, they end up on the sea floor. And there is now on an average about 70 kilogram of plastics in each and every square kilometer of seabed. They come in all categories. You have empty food containers, drink bottles, plastic cups, polythene bags, all sorts of discarded plastics just after single use. And millions of seabirds die every year ingesting those tiny pieces of microplastics. 50% of all plastics, they are discarded just after single use, in a very short span of time. And almost like 70% of plastic products become plastic waste in a matter of few hours. And if you see the data, globally we produce about 150 million tons of plastics every year. I used to go to clean trash on the riverside, and I used to be very, very surprised and shocked to see that whatever plastic waste we throw in our houses, they end up in our water bodies. They end up in our rivers, in our ponds. And poor fish, frogs and turtles, they get very hard with those waste products. Their lives are threatened because of our plastic wastes. We had started a campaign called My River, My Pride to connect students and youth with the river. Every Sunday morning we used to clean one ghat or river bank, and during our cleanup exercise we found all kinds of plastics inside the riverbed. Shopping bags, straws, coffee pots, cups, packaging items, plates, all sorts of plastics. So we decided to do something about it. There are 7 different types of plastics which could be easily recycled. They range from number 1 to number 7. If you take any plastic bottle and just see on the bottom, you find there's a triangle, there's a symbol of recycle, and there are numbers inside that triangle which range from 1 to 7. Number 1 is polyethylene tetraphthalate or PET bottle. Number 2 is HDPE or high density polyethylene. Number 3 is polyvinyl chloride or PVC. Number 4 is low density polyethylene or LDPE. Number 5 is polypropylene or PP. Number 6 is polystyrene or styrofoam. And number 7 is all miscellaneous plastics, including your polycarbonate or acrylic or styrene or fiberglass or nylon. So basically all these plastics could be stored and given back to the scrap dealers for recycling. You don't have to dump these plastics into your trash bag. It's not about simply providing information and educating people with awareness. It's also about behavioral change. It's also about doing something and walking the talk. It's time we made some changes in our own home. This is the starting point to change behavior. If all of us could help our planet in ecosystem restoration, we can also ensure a cleaner future to our future generation. We must change our thinking, how we use plastic in our day-to-day lives. Plastics become accidental food materials for fish and turtles. Once plastic is discarded after its utility is over, it's known as plastic waste. It is estimated that about 70% of plastic packaging products are converted into plastic waste in a short span of time in a matter of few minutes to few hours. Plastics are made from oil with a highly polluting production process. Every month, my house is saving almost 15 kilograms of plastics from entering into our landfills and water bodies. And this plastic would be enough to drive my car for 40 miles. Plastic-free future starts with you. It's time to rethink plastic and take a hard look at how we use plastics every day. Stop reading and look up. How much plastics from your house can be stopped from entering our rivers? Remember, most plastic waste does not make it to the recycling center or even the landfills. You can save hundreds and thousands of plastic bags from getting eaten by our turtles and fish. Remember, together we can turn the tide and make a big difference.